Hello everyone, my name is Jorge Chuba and my classmate Paola Gomez. Now we discuss the topic the advantage and disadvantage of the pair and group work. Definition of groups. The group is an assemblage of persons who communicate in order to fulfill a common purpose and achieving a goal. What are the advantages and disadvantages of the pair and group work? The advantage of the pair and group work allows you to monitor, move around the class, and really listen to the language they are producing, work in groups. Working groups is the groups think and analyze ideas longer before putting them into action in class. Small groups give opportunities the initiation for face-to-face. Working in groups, the students feel more secure. Working groups, the students feel more enthusiastic to make the assignments. The students take more responsibility for action and progress. Group work gives more creativity in the classroom. What are the disadvantages of the pair and group work? The problem of controlling students in the class. The conflict between students, some learners some learners prefer to work alone. Students have varying attitudes regarding collaborative work in the classroom. That's the first part of the video. Thanks for watching.
Good evening, Professor and classmates. My name is Paola Gomez, and with my partner George Shuva, we're going to present our work with regards to the advantages and disadvantages of pair work and group work. There are several advantages of teamwork, of pair work or group work. They help increase collaboration, and there's a great amount of brainstorming that takes place. And this ends up generating more ideas and students' productivity increases. Students can also learn to solve complex problems and complete difficult tasks. Furthermore, students can improve their skills while working as a team, since having diverse people in pair work or group work involves that they have different skills and abilities that they can enrich one another upon. Also, teamwork helps students improve their communication skills. Now, on the other hand, there are some disadvantages of pair work or group work. It can happen that conflicts take place when a person works less than another, and also that since many tasks have to be finished, if time is not managed properly, the outcome can be deficient, or the decision-making process could be prolonged or delayed. Now, in general, why is pair work and group work so effective? It's not only effective, but it is also powerful for our students' learning, and it is super important. There are some points to highlight about group work. Students learn effectively when activities are well designed to be worked in pairs or groups. Generic skills advance. It's like cognitive skills and social skills and communication skills can be developed, as I said, with a well-designed process of pair work and group work. You can also have students develop social networks since you have them switching constantly and varying from pair work and group work. And The dynamics of the group starts to develop since they start interacting a lot more with one another. Well, to sum it all up, the advantages of working as a team are higher productivity, development of more resources, more reliability, more learning, the development of different methods from students themselves, exchange of information and knowledge, and develop a team commitment, of course. Now, some disadvantages are unequal or uneven or unfair participation, conflict, lack of individual involvement, commitment, and thinking. That it sometimes, decision making takes too much time. It is very easy to skip or avoid the work that members have to do. And maybe some of them tend to not contribute with creative ideas. And yes, it is also time consuming. This is the first part of my work with regards to the advantages and disadvantages of pair work and group work.
This is a second part and final video about the advantage and disadvantage of the pair and group work. Activities to have an efficient classroom management. How to set up pair and group work. In my class, sure to fully explain the procedure before splitting the class up. Always demonstrate help of a volunteer exactly what they had to do. Ask them to help you what they have to do before they do it in their mother tongue if need be to check their understanding. Have a feeling activities ready or they quit finish it, but be sure that they have completed the task correctly. First, haven't just finished it because they misunderstood what that they had to do. Feedback time after part work so that the child don't feel that they have wasted time. It's important to share their work as a whole growth, although this doesn't have to be systematic. Set a clear time limit. Control who worked with who so children aren't always being dominate or dominate others. Activities which lend themselves to pair work. Throw the ball. This can be used to practice in any watch that requires a question answer pattern. They can roll the ball each other in habit to say the appropriate sentencing as they roll the ball. Example given. Hello. Hello. What's your name? Etc. etc. Information get. Give each pair a picture. The picture should be nearly the same with 2 or 3 elements missing from each picture without showing each other the picture they should describe. The missing object. They will practice in color, preposition or place, and adjectives such as big, small, etc. etc. Then they can compare their pictures. Activities which lend themselves to grow work. Poster. Use it to practice it, categorizing skill, reviewing colors and names of toys. The children can be in charge of finding pictures of toys and grouping in terms of color or type of toy and displaying their work. Water dressing. Bring a selection of eating or clothing. You can ask the children to bring in one eating each the week before. Bring a few extra yourself to account for those who forget. Put the items in four piles around the room to make access easier and to avoid a scramble on one pile. The class should be in four groups, one for each season. They have a few minutes to collect a certain number of items that they could wear in that season. Everyone must have at least one item, but not one in the group must have the same item as the other group members. The language they use can be describing to their group what they're wearing using colors and clothing. Vocabulary and saying in what weather condition they wear the item. The other group members can say if they think it's appropriate for their season or not. Thanks for watching the video, and I hope the contribution or ideas improve the education in Ecuador.
Well, this is the second part of my work. Group work as well as pair work require thorough thinking and planning and work. So, how can we outline some steps, or what should we consider before creating effective pair work and group work? Well, we have to design our work goals well. It's like what our academic objectives are for our students to reach, what we want them to achieve, and what social skills we want them to develop. We must determine how we are going to conform the groups in pairs, in groups, right? And it is always recommended to consider groups from 2 to 6. Uh, we also have to choose an assessment method that will promote positive group interdependence as well as individual accountability. In team-based learning, two approaches that promote positive interdependence and individual accountability, as I said. First you take an individual readiness assessment test, and then immediately you take the same test again as a group. The grade is a composite of the two scores. Second, students complete a group project together and receive a group score on their project. That would be a good way. Something that you have to consider is that you have to help groups get started. You have to explain the group task, including the goals for the academic achievement and social interactions. You have to explain the way in which the task involves positive interdependence and individual accountability, and how each of them will be assessed. Assigning group roles is also an excellent idea, so we have to explain them how groups will be assigned to help them elaborate effective ways for interacting. We must also know that we will monitor group work. We will have to observe their constant interaction and progress as they finish the tasks. We also have to be very careful in in assessing the process of design of this pair work or group work activity, and we have to consider that after the entire process we have to reflect on how it worked and what we like the most about the group interactions, or the least, or the things that work the best, or the least effective things, right? Or the things that you did, how they helped the group, right? Which things help the group the most, or which help the group least. That way you can refine and sophisticate the activities, the pair work or group activities that you will design in the future. It's been a long time since I recorded a video, so I'm kind of nervous, which is silly because I'm on my own. So I really hope I did a good job and that I explained myself clearly. So thank you, Dr. Rosillo, and thank you to my partner, George Shuba, because he's the one who's going to assemble these videos best.